So I'm an artist from the Isle of Wight in England, and I work in England, Spain and Mexico. And for the last nearly 2 years I've been concentrating on one series of work called the Souvenir series, and that series is influenced by the souvenirs I saw as a child in my homeland. And these souvenirs are glass bottles filled with coloured sands from Allen Bay on the Isle of Wight, and they're filled in strata. And these souvenirs were created in the Victorian period by my great-great-grandfather. Yeah, so my main artworks are Bajo Ruta, la Ruta de Amistad, and A Bend in the Thames, which is a part of the Canary Wharf Estate collection in London, and Bajo la Sierra Larga, which is a commission for Senda, which is a public sculpture trail in Andalusia in Spain. And these are all part of the Souvenir series, which I've made in the last 18 months. So Bajo la Ruta is my most ambitious sculpture to date. It's 6 meters tall, and it's filled with asphalt, brick, clay, earth, lava rock and rock. And all of that material is collected from Clover 1 of La Ruta de Amistad. I was invited to think about making a sculpture at La Ruta by Luis, the patron. And until that point I'd never thought about making a sculpture outside before. And so that was really the first time I'd thought about it. And after Louise suggested that I should do that, I made a sculpture in Andalusia in Spain and then again in London. So firstly, to get the material to fill the sculpture, we excavated in Clover 1 of the Olympic Park. So that's the area surrounding the sculpture. So we made these kind of channels of excavation, which are 60 centimeters squared, which is the same proportion as the sculpture. Some of them are quite shallow because we hit lava rock quite early. Some of them are deeper, like nearly 3 meters. So we extracted that material from the ground, sieved it using a 1 meter square wire mesh to remove the litter. There's a lot of plastic, bones, bottles, sticks, all kinds of things really. And then after we do that, you know, we pick out other things. We leave it to dry in the sun because usually it's quite damp. And then that's put into buckets, which goes up a winch, and then we pour it down a long tube, maybe 2 meters, inside the body of the sculpture, and that's how we fill it. So it took 5 weeks to excavate and clean the material to fill the sculpture, and it took 9 days to make the sculpture. I think when we were excavating and sieving, cleaning the material, you know, it was really hard work. It was very hot. The material was heavy, but it's a very striking thing to see how much waste is in the ground. Like, you really sort of appreciate and understand like how like cities are used and how many people are using them, and like, you know, there's really a lot of material there. And yes, so like you really get an understanding of the human impact in these kind of global cities, because I don't think Mexico City is so different from many other cities. It's like, we could say the same about London, Sao Paulo, Paris. You know, you see the impact of that once you dig into the ground. I think the kind of the fascinating thing for me was, because I'm not Mexican, I'm not from Mexico City, but I learned a lot from excavating that earth, like what happened in that area. Because I was told by Luis, the patron of La Ruta, that there used to be forest. And when we extracted the earth, we discovered asphalt and brick. And these are probably materials which were like dumped or buried in the ground when they built the periferica. So, you know, like you could see like the very many changes in that environment towards the urbanization which you see today. The piece is public until April the 30th. There is a possibility that the sculpture will move, and the material will move with it, of course. And if it doesn't, I think that we will probably return the earth back to where it came from. So this is my third time in Mexico City, and I really love Mexico City. And I think I will be coming back in the summer for a different project. But right now I go to Spain to make a couple of sculptures and to make 3 sculptures in the Netherlands after that.